When you become you and the best you are, not only will you be better with everyone area in your life, you'll be better in this world because you'll make significant differences in your life. And when you do that, you will impact and touch so many lives and make those lives better. Hello everyone, my name is Brian Geringer, President and CEO, First and Service Staffing Solutions. I know there's a lot of you have been watching our videos, but I also know some of you might be here for the first time tonight. I just want to ask you, if you're here for the first time tonight, make sure you're sharing these, make sure you're liking them, make sure you're commenting. Your comments are so valuable for us to figure out different videos we should be doing. In fact, a lot of the topics we've been doing more recently are based on comments we've received from people of topics you want to hear. So please share. This is not like being in class in school and, people are afraid to raise their hand. The good thing about social media is no one knows when you raise your hand. So if you have a topic you think is important, please let us know. And hey, listen, if you're on YouTube right now, make sure you subscribe to our channel and make sure you hit that notification button so every time a new video comes up, you hear a notification. I think today is going to be something I'm super pumped to talk about because I've dealt with this a lot of my life, and it's how to be yourself. I heard a guy say one time, and I love the talk this gentleman did. He said, most men walk around as posers in life. And you're this way to one group of people, and this way to another group of people, and this way to another group of people. And here's the problem with that. You don't even know who the heck you are when it comes to coming home. You don't know who you are. You don't know who you should be. And you're living this life, and you are so mentally confused. Someone very close in my life pointed this out about 10 years ago in my life, and this topic resonates with me because I lived it for a long time. And this person would say to me, it's funny, we go out and you're like this here and you're like this there and you're like that there and you're like this at home. And the funny part is I didn't know me. And I'll tell you, the first time this person told me this, hope you don't mind me saying, I was pissed off. Because I said, how do you have the right to say that to me? But they had every right to say that to me because they were on the outside looking in. And they realized that, there's a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And he talks about the different panes in the windows of our life and who we are. And there's things that we see that others don't see, and there's things they see that we don't see. And sometimes when we come in and someone reflects in our life something, we don't always like to hear the truth. But sometimes we have to rely on the value of others who are close to us to share that truth, and we need those truths. And in this particular case, I needed that. That's why I want to bring this up and talk about this tonight. Because when you figure out who you really are, so you're not different in 10 different places, you can actually live a life of significance and confidence. You'll watch your life go to different levels. You won't worry about what everyone thinks and what everyone says, because this life of worrying what everyone thinks of us is crap. It's ridiculous. It's a place of insignificance. Listen, I've met some people that are super wealthy, and you get around them and they have such a low confidence. Their confidence is in their car, in their Ferrari or their Bentley. I'm not putting those cars down, or in their mansion. But their confidence is not in them. I met a man this is several years ago. This guy to me looked like he had everything. And you know what I found out one day? And this is a scary thing to say, but he committed suicide. Because to the outside world, he had everything. But internally, people said he never knew who he was. So I want to ask you today to figure out who you are. I want to ask you today to be honest with yourself. I want to ask you today to say, listen, I'm going to stop pretending I'm this way at work, and I'm this way at home, and I'm this way around my kids, and I'm this way around that group of friends. And you know what? Start being proud of who you are. And what this does in a lot of ways, and what becomes hard on this one, is sometimes it makes you purge people in your life. And I've talked about that in other videos, because you're like someone, when you stop trying to act and be something somewhere else, and some people might look at you, I thought you were like this. The answer, no. What are you really like? What is your identity to yourself? What is your identity to you? When you look at your heart, and only you can do that, what do you think of you? What do you want to be? What do you want to portray? How do you want to talk? Who are the people you want to socialize with? Who do you want to hang around with? Who do you want to be proud of you? And I'll tell you, a lot of times it's got to be you. Because if you find that inner self and you're proud of you, you stop worrying about everyone else, and you stop trying to beat everyone else's drum, because that's a tough place to be. I've lived there. I've done it. I've spent a lot of life there. And it sucks being there because the battle that goes on is here. And you leave people and you think they think of you. They never think about you anymore. but you've got to deal with that. So I want to just make some suggestions of things I did for me personally. And I like to bring it back to things I did because I can tell you honestly what I've done to improve that area of my life, and I can share that with you in hopes it does something for you. So I wrestled for many, many years in this different section of life, and I wrestled over and over and over again until someone brought it to my attention. And even when they brought it to my attention, I still wrestled it more because I didn't want to be honest. So when the day came, I got so tired of that internal friction going inside of me. And I said, you know what? I got to figure out who I am, who I want to be. I sat back in a quiet corner, which is very, very hard for me. If anybody knows me, I'm always moving. And here's a sign, too, of someone who might not know who they really are. They always like to move because they want to hide. They're running. They're running from themselves a lot of times. I spent a lot of my life running from myself. And I'll be honest with you, I'm admitting that because in hopes it will help you if you're running from yourself. But I had to sit down with some quiet time with myself. And that quiet time might be different to all of you. Some of my best quiet time for me is actually driving in a car. I'm driving in a car. I know some people need to sit in a quiet office. Some people might need to be, I don't know, by the water. It's another great place for me as well. Some people might, wherever you might be, where is your time? For me, sometimes it's driving. Because I'm driving and I'm just with myself, with my own thoughts, moving and thinking. And it's the best thing for me. And I love actually just hitting record on my phone when ideas come up and I do that. But I had to look at myself and say, Brian, who are you? Who at the end do you want to answer to? And who do you want to be proud? Who do you want to be proud of you? My daughters, I definitely want them to be proud of me. What matters in life? What matters to you? Not what matters to this person or that person or this person, that person. And I'm going to tell you, people in couples in relationship situations who might be going through a lot of stuff, don't blow this in a relationship, because I know people who've spent years killing themselves because they're so worried about this person and what they're going to say, what they're going to do, as opposed to themselves. And so they don't even know. That's why their relationships are always all over the map and crazy. But when I finally got honest with myself and I identified who I am, what I wanted to reflect, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be proud of myself to do. There's little things that go on today, and I think what happens with people, it's scary. Everyone talks about, what are you doing for others? What are you doing for others? What are you doing for others? I spent my life doing so many things for others. I never looked at myself, and I was so messed up because I'm so busy spending time with others, thinking about others, I was hurting all the people around me. So when I started saying the others out there aren't more important than myself and my family, and I tend to spend the time. And then what I did is I bulleted down and I said, okay, and I'm not going to give you a number. For me, it was 11 different things I bulleted down that I wanted to make sure I improved upon in my life for myself. And then I also bulleted down on the other side different areas in my life that I was, for lack of a better term, screwing up in, I wanted to change. And when I did that, and I started every time because I had to write them down and get real, every time I started going the tendency to some of those mistakes I was making, I looked at, whoa, I got to stop. Now, I wouldn't say it physically to you, but I mentally would know those, and I realized where I need to stop and improve. And those areas I want to improve in, when I had to feel I was needed to do some homework, I needed to read, I need to study, I need to educate myself in those 11 areas. And I know those 11 areas and broke down. Really, when I took those 11 areas and I probably compartmentalized them again, it really came down to about 4. I just thought it was 11, but I brought it down to 4 because some of them intertwine with each other. And I started focusing on improving here. And over here, I started saying, I'm going to focus on not doing these areas anymore and move forward. And when I did this, catch these so I didn't do these anymore and focus my energy here. What happened is Brian Garinger started feeling better about me. And I became, honestly, a better friend. I became a better parent. I became better in relationships. I became better in the world around me because I then could produce and do more for the world instead of focusing on others and focusing on the areas where I was messing up and not doing good. So I want to ask you today, could you do yourself a favor? Not in a month from now. If this is hitting you right now, not in a month from now, not in a week, by whatever time it is, by 24 hours from whatever time you're watching this video, could you sit back and say, listen, let me look at myself and be honest and real. Let me write down all the areas of my life where I know physically I'm making mistakes in. And could I write down categories of my life? And again, I'm not going to give exact numbers because it's different for everyone, of where I want to improve and what I want to become. Look at those areas you're messing up and say, I'm going to commit not to never make those mistakes again, because that's false. You will. But I'm going to commit when I make those that I grab a hold of it quick and I say, I turn. and I say, I'm not going to do that anymore, and I move forward, and I keep on focusing on this list in this area, in these categories. Because I will tell you, when you become you and the best you are, not only will you be better with every area in your life, you'll be better in this world, because you'll make significant differences in your life. And when you do that, you will impact and touch so many lives and make those lives better. Thank you for watching Valuable Minutes with Brian. If this is your first time being with us, please make sure you follow, like, and share, and feel free to comment as well.